As we do every month, this video is sponsored by Max Aroma. They are what it sounds like, a place where you can get maximum aroma. We're all looking for that. If you don't already know, Max Aroma is one of the top fragrance discount sites out there. They have amazing deals on a vast and growing collection of designer, niche, and more indie type fragrances. They run awesome deals all the time. They have a fantastic rewards and loyalty program where you can be rewarded for being loyal. Who doesn't want that? And they also offer a great way to get samples of fragrances. You can buy these little decant atomizers. Let me grab one. I grabbed one. And actually, these are some of my favorite atomizers I've come across. It's like a faux leather wrap and the fragrance comes inside. You can pull out the cartridge. You can put it back in, whatever you want to do. I think they sell these for most of the fragrances they sell on the website. So that's a great way to try before you buy, even though you're still buying, but you're not buying quite as intensely just yet. So there's going to be a link down in the description to check out Max Aroma. Almost all the fragrances we're going to talk about can be found there except one that is not carried there. And another one I think is currently out of stock, but the rest can be found at Max Aroma. At some point in the last few months, I mentioned a fragrance in a video. I don't remember what video it is, but this fragrance that I mentioned in that video is way too strong. I just was wrestling with the idea of this fragrance smelling interesting and good, but so overwhelming. I think I made a joke in that video like, yeah, maybe I'll do a video about fragrances that I find too strong. Not thinking anyone would want to see that, but I have gotten several comments and messages ever since over the past several months asking me, hey Justin, are you ever going to make that video? And my first internal response to those questions was, no, I don't want to make a video like that. Kept getting it over and over and over, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to step aside.
I'm going to give you guys what you want.
So we're talking about 8 fragrances that I find to be too strong for my taste. This video is not meant to dissuade any of you from trying these fragrances. Many of these fragrances smell amazing. Heck, you may even have some of these, and maybe you don't find them too strong. So I cannot stress enough how much I'm trying to say, not trying to dissuade you guys from trying these fragrances. They will be linked down in the description. Some of you are looking for fragrances like this. Therefore, I'm just making a list of fragrances you should buy next. You're welcome, I guess. Let's dive right into it. This first one up here, again, the scent of this is beautiful. It's rich. It's well blended. It's a really interesting concoction that is very easy to understand, specific with personality. I love that, but it's so powerful. This is from Centauri and it's called Elixir by fellow reviewer Peter over at the channel Fragrance View. I have been a fan of Peter's channel for years now, ever since I started making videos. Even before that, I've been loving Peter's videos, and if you don't subscribe to him, go check him out. And he's a perfumer, self-taught as far as I know, and he's had his own brand for a couple years now. This is the first fragrance of his that I'm smelling. He sent it to me very, very generously. So Peter, I want to thank you so much. I did mention to him that I find this so incredibly powerful, almost overwhelming, and he just kind of laughed and he's like, man, yeah, I don't know. I was thinking maybe it's too strong. Maybe I need to dial it back. I said, no, leave it as is. This is what it is, and there's a market for it. People are gonna want this. So this is like caramel cognac coffee. It is gourmand through and through. Sweet, sticky, boozy, warm, rich. Perfect for fall and winter. I haven't worn it yet. I'm not spraying this on my skin until it is no more than 50 degrees outside. Otherwise, this will choke out the entire block. The birds will fall from the sky. The squirrels will fall from the trees. So powerful, but beautiful. So I can't wait to give this a single spray on a cold day in the coming months. That's Elixir from Centauri. Do check it out. Get a sample. It's a great scent, but you have been warned. Up next is the fragrance that I was referring to at the beginning of the video from Primera Perfumes. They call this Royal Vetiver. This is a great vetiver scent. It is a unique take, but it's so strong.
Oh man.
This is the kind of stuff that would give you a headache. I don't know how people wear stuff this persistent. I sprayed this on a tester strip. I left that tester strip in this room. I just left it out. I didn't come back in this room for the rest of the day, the rest of that afternoon into the evening. I came back the next morning, having not known what was happening in here. The fact that this fragrance was filling this room, was literally peeling the walls, was ripping up the floor. It was bringing down the ceiling. The window was cracked. It had filled up this room just from that blotter. I had to open the window right away. I decided right then and there, man, this is a very interesting take on vetiver, but I could never wear this. Even just smelling it in the air was overwhelming, just from a blotter. So to have it near my nose all day long, too much. I smell it for like a minute or so. I put it away, don't smell it again for months. That's as much as I can handle this scent. I don't remember the notes here. I haven't spent much time with it, obviously, but this fragrance smells like maple syrup and vetiver. That's the vibe I get. There's like a warm, sweet, sticky, syrupy feel with this woody, dry, bitter vetiver. In theory and on paper, a beautiful, unique take on vetiver, but the execution here just wants to execute everyone. I'm trying to live. I want to survive the day. And that is Royal Vetiver. This is such a beautiful scent from Roja Parfums. This is a favorite of many. It's a very unique scent profile, very unique take on rose and oud, and just a very distinctive personality that is, again, so elegant and beautiful, but it's so strong. I choked myself out once by wearing maybe 3 sprays of this, and I got in the car and I'm driving for about 20 minutes. And after about 20 minutes, I had to stick my head out the window because I was going to be sick. I liked it at first and it just devolved into something that I could not handle. This is Sweet Tea Aoud. This is such a great scent. It's one of these very iconic, unique offerings from the brand. It is a rose oud once again, but there is this almost like fruity, warm pastry feeling. There is this bread smell. It's so elegant, it's so different, but it's almost too much. You can really tell how strong a fragrance is if you spray it one time and then you don't spray it for like a year and you take off the cap and you can still smell it from the atomizer clear as day. That's a freaking strong fragrance. That's a long lasting, persistent fragrance. This is a great scent. I recommend sampling it. Don't smell it up close right away. Your nose will fall off. Let me know if you dig Roja Parfums Sweet Tea Aoud. Sintra from the house of Memo, Paris. From what I've heard, I think this was reformulated. I've heard people say, oh, it's not very strong, and that blows my mind. Now, this bottle was sent to me, not by Memo, I don't remember by who, by a store of some kind, when the fragrance first came out, which I think was 2021. I haven't worn it or sprayed it since then. I think I've worn this once or twice. It's beautiful, but good Lord. Yep, it's still there. It's been like 2 years, literally, since I sprayed this bottle, and I could just fill the room just by doing this. Anyway, beautiful white floral lactonic fragrance. Milky, sweet, creamy, white florals, marshmallows, maybe a little bit of like an orange feel, like orange blossom or neroli or something like that. It's beautiful. Honestly, I don't find it to be overwhelming. The one time that I remember wearing it, I remember enjoying it, but I do remember 12, 13 hours later, kind of wishing it was gone. It was like,
hey, what are we doing now?
We're going to bed.
Oh, really? I'm not tired.
That is Sintra from Memo. I have actively admitted this many times on camera, even though I really like this scent. My wife really likes this scent. I do like to wear it. It is the strongest aquatic I've experienced in my life, and honestly, I think it's too strong. It doesn't need to be this powerful, if you're asking me. From Unique Luxury, we have Akdeniz. I've had many people ask about my bottle. This is the older design, so if you get a newer one, it's going to look even more high quality than this. When you have fragrances that are so highly concentrated, so beast like this, when you wear them, they don't really change that much. You kind of get what you get at that first spray. It doesn't really evaporate. The top notes don't really dissipate. It just hunkers together as this ball of sticky strength, and it just doesn't go anywhere. Pineapple, other fruits, warm ambery notes, a lot of salty aquatic, and it just kind of stays that way the whole scent. 12 hours plus, would probably last 24 if you didn't bathe. Please bathe. Performance can often be relative to lifestyle. If you work a long hour job, like you're working 12-hour, 14-hour shifts, especially like doing labor and stuff like that, I can see how you would need a fragrance like this, because functionally it makes sense. You need something that's going to last and perform, that you can enjoy all day without problem. This will do that. But if you don't do that, I never need a fragrance this strong.
Ever.
Now, I'm not saying that I would like it more if it were weaker. I still like the scent. I probably would wear it more often if it wasn't so strong, but I really got to be careful and meticulous as to when I wear something like this. That goes really for any of these fragrances. Unique Luxury Akdeniz. It's good, but it's too strong. One of the few fragrances from Amouage that I have a hard time wearing because it chokes me out. I've only worn it in the dead of winter and it was still almost too much. This is Royal Tobacco. This is perfumed by one of my favorite perfumers, Cecile Zarokian. And I think, again, in and of itself, a great scent, a great tobacco scent. Resins, incense, kind of has this almost plum or prune-like feel, some spicy cardamom, and lots of dusty, dry tobacco. And it's like a pipe tobacco, it's sweetened. I think the last time I wore this, I wore 3 sprays, and I think I ended up having to take a shower maybe 5 hours later, prematurely, just to scrub it off because I had had enough. Great scent. Very powerful. This is like a dead of winter when you're going to be only outside. If you're going to be inside, 1 spray. Trust me, they will know you're here. Amouage Royal Tobacco. Up next is another example of a scent profile that I find so interesting, so unique, and very pleasant. And honestly, I wouldn't say it's overtly overbearing, but 1 spray too many, you're done. You self-destruct. I did that once. This is Wanderlust from Oman Luxury. This is one of the most unique black currant fragrances. Oh my gosh, it is so green, juicy, fruity. There's not a lot of sweetness here. It's more of a green, grassy, kind of bitter type of freshness with maybe some woods backing it up. It's like freshly cut grass under the sun, like sun-baked, freshly cut green grass with a little bit of this unripe, fruity quality. Up close, this stuff is too much. It's so different. And when you have a scent profile like this that's so unique, when it is turned up to 11, too much. Again, I don't wish it was weaker or anything like that. I'm still gonna wear it. I do enjoy it, but I personally would have been just fine if it was a little weaker. I would like it just as much. Wanderlust. Do check it out. Let me know if you have tried it. I got this from Max Aroma. They'll be linked down below. Check them out. And our final fragrance. This is a beloved one. In my opinion,
It's obnoxious.
it's too strong. It hardly evolves on the skin over the day. It doesn't really change much. It smells very juvenile. It smells kind of basic. I know it's a huge compliment getter. I know that's why a lot of people like to wear it. They might even like it more for that than they do how it actually smells, which always baffles me, but it's like fighting the ocean. I'm not going to tell you what to like and how to like it, but I will question you and I will ask you to question yourself. But this is from Rasasi and it is Hawas. I think this is too strong, and this is a fragrance that honestly, even if it wasn't too strong, I still probably wouldn't care for it because the scent profile, it smells like an Invictus type of fragrance. This sweet, bubblegummy, fruity aquatic scent. Very likable. Doesn't smell bad at all, but it's boring. As a scent enthusiast, what I put on my skin, I want to love all day long, even if no one else smelled it and said that I smelled good. The first 2 hours of this, I like. It's fine. It's good. I'm like, okay, I know I smell fresh and sweet and pleasant, and I can rest assured. After that, I want it gone. It just goes and goes and goes. I know there seems to be some kind of variability with performance on this one, but at least my bottle, in my experience, consistently too strong. I'm not trying to convince you to feel the same way. Do your thing. Wear it. If you love it, amazing. But it's too much for me. Rasasi Hawas. And no, I'm not selling my bottle. I use it for review purposes just like this. Well, that's it. I want to know what you think of these fragrances if you've tried them. Do you find any of these to be too powerful for you? Do you find that you have to be careful as to when you wear them? Or are they just right for you? Do you still spray them 10 times wherever you go, not caring who is suffocating around you? All lifestyles are accepted and welcome. Let me know down in the comments, and thank you so much for tuning in. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.